the saying, go with the flow. Go with the flow, right? And we always think that it means that we need to be more adaptable, that we need to be spontaneous, that no matter what's happened around us, we need to just kind of flow with it, right? Well, that is what it means. We do need to flow with what's happening around us. And I was thinking about that a lot this week. So I had something that work-related that I was doing, and it didn't work out the way I thought it would. It really didn't. It was didn't work out well at all, and I was really disappointed and discouraged and upset. And I had about a day of sitting around and feeling sorry for myself and unsure of what to do next, and feeling like it didn't matter what I do, it doesn't work out, and you know, the spiral of negative thinking that sends you into a place where you can't take any action at all. So as I sat with this and really worked with the what had happened, at a certain point, I just knew it wasn't going to work out, right? So actually, it was before it totally hadn't worked out, but I really knew that it wasn't going to work out. And at that point, after I got over being all dejected and depressed and, you know, whatever, I just said, you know, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do to fix it now. It is what it is, and maybe it's all working out the way it's supposed to. Maybe this particular project didn't work out because I need time for something else, you know, that's going to happen down the pike. You know, maybe I'm going to get a new book deal, or I'll get some big client or something, and I'll need that time. Or maybe, you know, the universe is just trying to tell me that this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing, at least not right now. And I surrendered. I surrendered to what was happening and just had faith and trust that it was going to work out for the best. And that to me is going with the flow. There is, when you go with the flow in that sense, there is this aspect of faith and trust that the universe has got your back, that the universe knows what's going on. I mean, you can call it God, you can call it source, creator, but you just have faith and trust that everything's working out the way it should for your highest good. And that's the place I got to. And you know what? From that place, there was freedom. The depression lifted, the frustration lifted. I wasn't upset anymore. I just felt relaxed and at peace. And isn't that what we all want, to feel at peace? And out of the situation came some good, because I really started to think about, okay, what could I do differently? Or what am I doing that isn't working? Or how can I, you know, change things up a little bit? And also, how can I stay happy? Because you know what? Once I surrendered, I was way happier. I was relaxed. And I focused on some things that made me feel good. I took care of myself, and I thought, I need to do this more often. I need to have more self-care, and I need to do the things that bring me joy and not stress so much about the rest. It's all working out in the right place, at the right time, in the right way for my highest good and for the highest good of everyone around me. So I want to encourage you to think about what happens in your life in this way, and to try to go with the flow more rather than to fight it. There's a great image in Richard Bach's book, Illusions. At the very beginning, there's this section about, I'm trying to remember whether it's a tadpole or what, but there are these creatures, because I can't remember what they are, so I don't know what to call them. They're these things. We'll just call them like tadpoles or something. And they're, anyway, they're hanging onto the rocks because they don't want to get pulled downstream by the current. So they're in this river and they're hanging on, you know, fighting against the flow. They're trying to stay where they are. And one just lets go. Says, I'm going to see where the river takes me. That's going with the flow. That's going with the flow. And it takes some trust. It takes some faith. It takes some courage. And, you know, I'm still kind of in the process. And there's part of me that wants to control it. And other part of me is going, okay, we'll see what happens. Let's do it differently and see what happens. Let's let go and see what happens. And that's not easy for me. I'm a little bit of a control freak. So, letting go and seeing what happens isn't always easy for me, but I'm working with it. And I just want to challenge you today to go with the flow and see what your results are. See what happens when you allow yourself to go downstream with the flow, with the river current, right? See what happens, okay? So that's it today. Just go with the flow and see what happens. See what your results are, okay? Stop fighting against it and hanging on, and just have some faith and some trust and let go. Go with the flow. I'm Nina Amir. I'm the Inspiration to Creation Coach, and I've been thinking a lot about that moniker, Inspiration to Creation Coach. Normally at this time I say I'm a high performance coach and I'm an author coach and blah, blah, blah. I thought today I'd do something different and tell you a little more about what it means to be an Inspiration to Creation Coach. What that means is that I help people get from the moment of inspiration, or I help them get inspired if they're not inspired. So if you're not inspired, I could help you with that. Or if you have inspiration and you would like to create something based on that light bulb moment, and you're not because life gets in the way or something else gets in the way, I'm here to help you make sure that you take all the inspired steps to actually create whatever that is you want to create, whatever idea you have, whatever thing you desire. Because you know what? Humans were created with this spark inside us. I call it the divine spark, and it's a creative spark because divinity, the source of everything, is creative. We all know the stories that God created everything that we see and experience, right? But we were created in God's image, and I believe that image is actually the creative part, the spark inside us that's creative. And so it's our natural order, let's say, or our natural character to have desires, to want things, to want to create things. And the problem is that as human beings having a spiritual experience, we sometimes get stuck. We get in our own way, we let life get in the way, all kinds of things happen that prevent us from creating what we want. And so it's my job as the Inspiration to Creation Coach to get you from that moment of inspiration to the actual creation. A lot of times I do that with certified high performance coaching, because the fact is that if you don't have clarity on what it is you want to create and how to create it, and if you don't have the courage to move forward towards creating what you want, and if you don't have the energy to do that, and if you're not focused and effective in the process of creating it, then the likelihood is you're not going to create it. And sometimes you also need some influence over yourself to do things differently or to change. And you might need some influence over some other people to get them on board with your dream, with your creation. All of that is what I can help you with as a high performance coach. But there's also that kind of spiritual element to it. So if you're interested in getting more clarity, energy, courage, productivity, and influence so you can go from inspiration to creation, fill out the application at ninaamir.com/free session. And let's get on a Zoom call or a call and talk about what you want to create in your life. Let's talk about whether you have the clarity, energy, courage, influence, and productivity to fulfill your purpose, which is to create. Okay? Fill out the application and let's get on a call and let's talk about it, and let's see if you and I are a good fit to work together as coach and client. And if you want to move forward and get closer to creating your inspiration, your idea. Okay, so fill out that application and we'll be in touch, or I'll be in touch with you. Okay, and until next time, go out there and achieve more inspired results.